Goat on a Boat, A Warm Welcome Goes a Long Way by Nick Dent and Suzanne Houghton. Food is quite scarce on the island of Jocks. The landscape is harsh and made mostly of rocks. A herd of pale sheep makes a home on its marshes. They forage wild oats and they fossick for grasses. Beneath the volcano they scrounge and they fumble. There isn't much grass, so their bellies all rumble. They jostle their neighbours and grunt and compete for any stray morsels that livestock can eat. Then one bright morning, a Sunday in May, they noticed a speck was floating their way. When it got closer, it changed to a boat, and standing on board was a smallish brown goat. The boat came aground and out the goat jumped. The sheep were intrigued, so around him they clumped. Then one sheep stood forward to broadcast his will, the group's fearsome leader, named Big Horn Bill. Said Bill, "He's arrived to eat all our wild oats. We must bar his entry. We must stop the goats. For if we let one on the island of Jocks, then others will follow. They travel in flocks. Who asked it to come here? It wasn't invited. I say if it comes any closer, then bite it, or lock it away. It just isn't fair. It's hard enough here without having to share." A ewe then spoke up, who was called Fleecy Jean. "Big Horn Bill, that is selfish and mean. So what if he came here from over the sea? I say he can eat here, just like you or me." The ram shook his horns and addressed her. "Oh, can he? We owe that goat Zip. We're not its nanny. It wants all our food. You can tell he's a glutton. He'll have to get back on his boat, plain as mutton." The goat remained silent. It looked at the sheep, then leapt on a ledge that was craggy and steep. He soared up the hillside as light as a bird, to the general astonishment of the whole herd. Up, up he continued, above the sheep's heads, to the higher up rocks near the albatross beds, up to a place where sheep never go, because altitudes scare them. They like it down low. Fleecy Jean closed her eyes, and then she took the leap. One small step for goat, a large one for sheep. Then, having witnessed the demonstration, her friends soon did likewise. Sheep like imitation. A woolly procession soon snaked up the slopes. Below Big Horn Bill tutted, "You ovine dopes! I wouldn't go up there. You'll fall in the crater. You're going to regret this, sooner or later." The goat reached the summit and paused at the rim. He took one look back, and then he hoofed it straight in. Fleecy Jean reached the top with delirious glee and could not believe what her sheep eyes could see. A field of wild oats and thistles and clover. Their days of hunger and scrounging were over. More grass than they could ever eat in a year, and all of the time it was hidden up here. Who knew goats on boats could serve such a purpose? Fleecy Jean told her friends, "Now we have a grass surplus. Mr. Goat, you're a marvel. I hope you will stay. Please join us in feasting. I'll pick you some hay. There is plenty to eat on the island of Jocks. No one need dig in the dirt or chew rocks. Now sheep do not panic at creatures in boats. They no longer separate the sheep from the goats." Now, when a visitor lands on the beach, the animals wonder what things it can teach. If arrivals need grass, they don't really care. The sheep on the island have learned how to share. Well, that's except maybe one. Down below in the marshes, old Big Horn Bill combs the rocks for stale grasses. And whether they hail from near or afar, when someone comes close, he yells at them, "Bah!" Said Jean, "Life is fun with new friends to include. I'm telling you this, Goaty, I'm loving the food." That was Goat on a Boat, read by Marie from Forbes North Sack.